Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet. But welcome to 9-9, wherever you are, or if you're seeing this afterwards. Welcome to my foray into this really fascinating number. And as I was researching 9-9, I found out a lot of things about 9 that I didn't know. So one of those really interesting things to me is that if you add 9 and 9, you get 18, right? But if you add 1 and 8, you get 9. Now, I couldn't do that with any other number, and I tried. So that in itself is curious, just curious. That's what I think. So 9 for a lot of numerology is the number of completion, and it's really because we start a new cycle with 1, the new beginning, 9, 10, and the 1 being part of the 10. But in 9, we have this completion that has to do with transformation. And during this time of 9, what comes up is unfinished business, the stuff that you were supposed to really get through in the last 9 months and maybe haven't. So as you get closer to 9 and then the month of September, what happens is that stuff gets magnified and it can be a little in your face, which is not pleasant, but let's get it done. Let's get it out of the way. Let's look at it. Let's poke at it and let's shine some light on it and finish it up so that we can move on. So also coming this month, of course, is the equinox. And that will be, depending on where you are, September 20, 21, 22. And I love celebrating that equal part. We're halfway between the daylight and the dark, or in the northern hemisphere, we're going into fall. And that becomes a time of going inward and less about the expansion of spring and summer and more about the going inward of fall and winter. So it's a really good time to just look at what has happened in these past 9 months. What have you created? What have you wanted to create, didn't create? What have you started out to create and it didn't become what you expected, but maybe it morphed into something even more amazing than our small human imagination can think of. So 9, let's go a little deeper into that. So as this unfinished business comes up and is intensified, it's a really good time to take a look at that because then you can clear it. That'll be it. You won't have to mess around in the first 9 months of gestating whatever your lessons were for this year. So I like that. I like that we can have a look like that and say, hey, I started out thinking this, but now this is what I'm understanding, and getting a little more into that, a little more curious about why did I choose this instead of that. The other thing about 9 is that it has this sort of overarching look at the world, and it connects us to global consciousness instead of self-consciousness. And it gives us that, it's very Aquarian, in the Aquarian age, of course, and it gives us that feeling of compassion for the world, for the people of the world and the things that are going on in the world. And we move out of judgment. That's always a relief, isn't it? And we get to see the world without ego, without what we think or how we've been raised. And it's a place of higher mind. And when we're in that place for the world or for ourselves or for the people that we work with or our spouse or even pets, we get a completely different expression of our life. So I like that. I like to be sort of reined in from the ego emotional roller coaster that, is easy enough to jump on and jump off and jump on and jump off. And really just take a look at a dispassionate look at the global world and think, yeah, there are some real big messes here and there. And yeah, there are some wonderful things here and there. And here's where we live. And here's what we do to contribute to one or the other. And if we know better, we can do better, right? Maya Angelou says that. And I love that because that is what this consciousness, this expansion of consciousness and looking at ourselves and the world in a way that is balanced. There we are back at the beautiful equinox and doing balance with that. So also bringing in the Lemurian codes for healing, 9 is the card, the star center 9 is for the divine feminine. So here is that lovely picture. And if you want to see it in its bigger form, it will appear on my website and on my Facebook page. Not my website, sorry. It will appear on my Facebook page, and you can really go deeply into this image and see the intricacies and the messages that may be in there for you. So let me read this. Star Center 9. Your aspect of the sacred feminine is the dark and mystical face of the divine. In you, she is receptive, yielding, encouraging, affirmative, and nourishing. Open your right palm facing up to receive her blessings. Welcome her offering of profound internal surrender that is represented by her inward spiral as you feel the tenderness of the Great Mother sustain you. That's Star Center 9. So let's spend a moment with that. The dark and mystical face of the divine feminine, what does that mean? For me, in this message from the Star Mothers on Star Center 9, that dark and mystical face is the face of the moon, because she's sometimes hidden in the waning moon and in the new moon. And then she comes out and she reveals her mystery a little at a time until she's fully facing you. And then there is, open your right palm facing up to receive her blessings. Now, this is a little contentious to some people that we have the right as the receiver, because for many, many years, it's been the right as the giver. But this is what the Star Mothers gave me as exact verbiage for these Lemurian code cards. So when I went deeper and I asked why, they just said it is because of balance and bringing balance back. The 3 B's, bring balance back. So bringing balance back to the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So perhaps in reversing them, that's what we get. And then the last part of this, welcome her offering of profound internal surrender that is represented by her inward spiral. So in this time of compassion for the world and a higher mind and the good for all, we have the surrender of that beautiful spiral that turns inward, and it can bring us to a place of being connected to the core of what is really important. And through this, the tenderness of the Great Mother sustains us, they say. So That for me is Mother Earth and the divine feminine that comes through in the earth that sustains us. Yes, we have science, and yes, we have all kinds of things that sustain us. We have technology, but without the earth sustaining us, it would be a different world, wouldn't it? Hmm. So let us hear from the star mothers and see what exactly they would like to add to today's 9-9. So just take a moment to close your eyes and relax your breathing, relax your body. Letting your breath come in and out softly and deeply. And feeling that place in your heart that expands as you breathe. And then opening your heart to the message that the star mothers are ready to give you about today, about them, and about this place of transformation and transition. Mm. Dear Shining Ones, we step forward through our beloved Mele'ha to speak with you this day about your numerology of this number 9 and 9. And here's what we feel for you about this: that it is always a good time to celebrate transformation and transition. So we are celebrating that with you today as we give you this message. This is where the message comes from: the heart of the divine feminine, the great mother, the Pleiadian star mothers, the message from the heart of the galaxy, your closest star cluster, our home. We bring you love. You know, we broadcast you love from that home all the time. As you would say, 24/7, 365. For us, it's eternity and infinity because we're 444 light years away. This broadcast has been going on before your planet was habitable for humans. And light years really don't mean that much to us. We have a transcendent way of being with your time and space. And we encourage you, as you look at this day 9, the day of transformation and transition, we encourage you to understand what transcending time and space is about, even though your meeting is focused on a particular time. You know that this 9-9 will repeat every year, and each year it will be so very different. And in the meantime, between this year and next 9-9, you will have transcended and transmuted and transformed so much. But use the energy, the focus, ride the wave of your calendar and the people that are focusing on this day. Ride that wave in a positive way to fuel all these things our Mele'ha addressed with you. She spoke of compassion, our favorite subject. She spoke of global consciousness. They go together, don't they? She spoke of transforming your ego to see things and feel things from a place of compassion. And ultimately, that inner wisdom that you came to know in Lemuria. That inner wisdom that was your birthright in Lemuria, that is your Akash now in these days. It is awake, isn't it? And you are transforming, transitioning all the time. But celebrate that now with this 9. And as you move further into your calendar, when we celebrate our star alliance, night and day, north and south, we ask you this: where is that place of dark and light inside of you? Where is that place of transition, transformation inside of you? And if you go into that place, use your Lemurian wisdom as a guide. And let that guide take you to your heart, to that wise friend inside of your chest. That place where a relationship is just blossoming, just coming forth. You're just learning the value of that relationship. And it can be tender. And a heart, yes, can be broken. But it is resilient. Just like our children, you. So we ask you during this time to find that place of resilience inside of you as you look with great compassion at your own life. What has occurred and what hasn't occurred? What would you like to occur? Be realistic and dream and ask us for your support. We are here for that and really nothing else. We are here to guide our children on their journey. So each time that you step away from any guidance and are feeling confused or lost, sad, remember, just one little cell can awaken to remembering. And in that time, our connection is renewed. And you can speak to us and we will answer. You can ask us and we will help. You can look for answers and you will find them. Take a breath with me. In this beautiful time, together we can transform pain into joy, darkness into light, forgetting into remembering, suffering into awakening. You are here together to do this. You were born together to do this, in support of each other. And as that occurs, we are holding the space for you to transform. Imagine a huge portal of light right above you all the time. As soon as you remember it, it's there. That's the magic. As soon as you remember us, we are with you. We will complete with that and step back, giving this time with Mele'ha. Back to you. Remembering that we are always with you. The portal is always within reach as we step back. And take a breath. Mm. Thank you, Star Mothers. I'm always so grateful for their unique look at what I think is, I've just figured out in my linear examining of things. And they take it deeper and they give it a different, more, to use the word of the day, global meaning. So global in that it affects all the parts of us, not just our thoughts or our brain or our feelings, but how we move in the world. And it affects the world then. We send out waves all the time. So, unfinished business. Time to get on that. Between now and the equinox, between 9/9 and 9/21, that gives you quite a bit of time, doesn't it? That'll be exciting. It's delightful for me to spend time with you. Thank you. Thank you for what you do to share these messages in the world. Thank you for visiting my YouTube, Lemurian Sisterhood Global, and listening to the channels of the Star Mothers, to the Cryon channels, to interviews. Whatever is there in service to you. So thank you, my beautiful family, my wonderful community. Visit me in person, on the road. Watch my calendar is always on my Facebook page, and it's always on my website under events. And come to the Global Lemurian Sisterhood Global Group page on Facebook, and you can follow me on Instagram. My cavorting around in nature, mostly my favorite place. And until we meet again, either in the grid of energy or in person, my humble thanks and blessings to all of you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Big loves.